heist.
Heist?
Yes, a heist. We should steal, borrow one of our favorite YouTubers' indie game and give it a total makeover with new art and animations.
Java, that sounds wild and maybe illegal.
Oh, come on, CC. It'll be thrilling. And look, they're even hiring for an animator.
Oh, really? Landing that position would be a dream job.
Think about it. You can showcase your skills and creativity in one grand gesture.
Well, I do love a good challenge. Alright, Java, count me in. Let's make this heist legendary.
I knew you'd come around, CC.
If you don't know who I am, my name is Cartoon Coffee, and I make 2D hand-drawn art for video games.
And I'm Java, an artificial intelligence training to become a professional game artist.
A little while ago, one of my favorite creators, Trent Kanuga, announced that he was making his dream indie game called Twilight Monk.
Twilight Monk is set to be a hand-drawn 2D Metroidvania in a mysterious Kung Fu land.
Trent is a seasoned industry vet who worked with some of the biggest game studios out there.
Like Blizzard, Riot, and Capcom.
And today, we're gonna take their dream game without them knowing and remake it.
And at the end of the video, we'll present it to him as a surprise job application.
Now that I'm saying this again out loud, I'm actually not so sure about this, Java.
CC, I've already stolen the files. We're far too deep to turn back now.
Java, you are joking, right?
You should probably get started on the background.
While there isn't a hard deadline, many other animators will be applying for this position, so the main objective is to complete this before Trent decides to go with someone else. To have any shot of pulling this off, I'll need to use a bunch of time-saving techniques.
Perfection is the enemy.
Okay, let's see what we're working with here. Java, send over some Twilight Monk screenshots.
Aye, Captain.
We're going to need a good springboard if we hope to pull this off. Wow, these are all great. But to me, this one seems like it has the most potential.
What are you going to do with it?
The idea is to turn this screenshot into an arena. If we get off this exit here, we can then use the section on the left as a wall. And by extending the ground, we can make this arena much bigger. All we need to do is place a large wall on the right side, and that's our arena.
The design is done. But how are you going to paint this entire background?
Trent already has fantastic art in his game, so all I need to do is cut out his art from this screenshot and then do some painting to clean up any rough edges.
Nice! Are you going to make the ground into a seamless texture to make the arena bigger?
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea. It will give us the flexibility to make the arena as big or small as you want, and to make the ground seamless, all we need to do is take half of the image and move it to the opposite side, and then move the other piece to where the last half just was.
So you're just reversing the order?
Exactly, and then I'll just paint over the seam.
Wow, and just like that we have a seamless texture. CC, I was looking over your design plans again, and I think I spotted a big problem. How are you going to possibly paint this big rock wall in time? Painting that many rocks could take days.
Oh yeah, that would be tricky. If we weren't stealing more of Trent's art, that is. We can make that wall by taking chunks of rocks on the left, mash them together, and then painting any gaps with our own rocks.
That's so sneaky.
And to help ground this wall even more into the scene, we can paint in some snow on the base of the wall.
This is turning out great. Do you know any more clever tricks for background art?
Well, looking at Trent's original screenshot, to remake the rest of the elements in the scene is honestly just doing more of the techniques you already saw. Just more cutting, painting, and gradient maps.
Gradient maps?
Oh wait, have I not mentioned this yet? I noticed something really cool about the way Trent paints.
You know how to paint like Trent?
Not exactly, but I did pick up a few things from looking at his work. Let me show you an example. If I paint a box in grayscale, I can easily change the grayscale values to new colors.
Wow, CC, how are you doing that?
This is called a gradient map. Gradient maps are a quick and efficient way to add color to your work. They map grayscale values of an image to new colors based on a gradient of your choice. For example, you can choose a gradient map and easily change a black and white image to a blue and orange one. And we can add additional markers in the middle to change the values in that range as well.
That's so cool!
A big benefit of gradient maps is that since you can paint in black and white, you don't need to worry about colors right away. So you can focus more on the actual design of your assets.
Oh yeah, because you can always add color in later.
And of course, you can take this a step further by doing some overpainting. However, more detail isn't always better in games.
Add detail sparingly. Got it.
Who knew that gradient maps were such a powerful tool to add color to your art and speed to your workflow?
Before I continue, I want to let you all know that I now have a free VFX pack. It comes with sprite sheets and PNG sequences, so it's great for game engines, video editing, and illustrations. It's completely free. You can download it in the link below.
Alright CC, you had a lot of fancy tricks so far, but I don't know how you're going to get out of this one. What are you going to do about the character model?
You're right. Sketching, drawing, and painting a model would take a really long time. Trent definitely would have hired someone by the time I was done with that. But I do have another sneaky trick up my sleeve.
Oh, really?
Normally, I would draw my own model, but I found this really great model sheet in Trent's art book.
Wow, that's fantastic! Are you going to cut out the model like you did for the environment?
Yes, but since I need to animate this, I'll have to be very mindful with how to cut it out. Let's take this arm for example. If I were to simply cut it here, it would look strange if I try to rotate it.
See, the elbow is missing!
To fix this, we need to make two rounded ends like this. The round ends help blend the edges together to create a much more natural joint.
That's so cool!
After we do this process for the rest of the body, we'll have a functional model.
Yay!
But there is one small problem.
Oh, not yay!
Twilight Monk is a game with kung fu action, and I really want to go over the top with the animation to showcase my skills. So, we'll need to create some additional pieces to get a much more dynamic range of animation.
Additional pieces?
If we look at just the head, you can see what I mean. Right now, he only faces in this one direction, and in a lot of games, this is completely fine, but I want to have the ability to animate the character to turn his head in multiple directions. Luckily, Trent also made a back view, so we can just use that.
But don't we still need a side view?
Yes, and for that, I'll just have to create my own. Sometimes, you won't get everything you need when working with other people's assets, but by using their work as a foundation, we can fill in the gaps ourselves. After doing this process for the rest of the pieces that I like to rotate, here's the result.
Wow, there's so many pieces!
Depending on the game you're making, a model can get far more complex than this, but could also be much simpler. It all depends on the range of motion you're looking to get out of the model.
A more complex model isn't always better.
With our model finished, we can start animating. And for that, I'm going to use Spine. Spine is a software that allows you to rig 2D models like this and create animations. In total, I created about 12 animations. Here are just a few of them.
The player character looks great!
But what is he going to fight?
Well, after flipping through the art book some more, I found this.
Good grief, it's a giant slime!
But then I realized I'm really starting to run out of time, so I recreated this little guy instead.
Oh yes, much cuter.
All that's left to do now is to put everything together and send it off.
That's great, CC!
But, there's a problem. It's about Trent.
Oh, what about Trent?
Trent just hired an animator.
Oh, so it looks like I won't be able to get that animator position, but I still had a great time working on the project. Plus, I can still show him what I made.
And we get to show it off to all of you guys too!
And in case you were wondering, I did hear back from Trent, and
He loved it!
Yeah, he was genuinely impressed by our audacious heist.
We won't share the details here, but he had a lot of kind words to say about it.
I wish the best of luck to Trent and the team. And if you want a chance for your game to appear in a future episode, email a screenshot or a short video of your game to cartooncoffeeredraw@gmail.com.
Thanks for leveling up with us!